Greetings once again, meine Liebchens, and happy St. Patrick's Day! I just figured today would be a great opportunity to both entertain my beautiful viewers and also to please our best friend, yours and mine, Mr. Algorithm. Rhythm. Okay, the algorithm. You guys get it. So, on to the beer. You guys know I'm not a huge IPA guy, but in this case, this one hits different. It's very light on alcohol at approximately just 4.8%. Typically, IPAs are heavier on the booze, between like 6 and 8%, and anything more than that is typically going to be like an Imperial IPA or a double IPA or a triple IPA, something like that. But this one, I love this. To me, this is certainly better for the lower IPA, in my opinion. The lower ABV for an IPA, I mean. Sorry, this is the third time I've done this video. Once again, having tech problemos. Sorry, y'all. But this is definitely a crushable go-to for a sunny afternoon, which is why I chose to do it for St. Patrick's Day. Got my little clover. Got my green Yankees jersey. I am Irish, so I can make that stupid accent. That said, whether or not this is correctly labeled as an IPA is debatable, and I will say, fans of the IPA, I get you. If you do not respect what Founders is doing with this, I kind of get where you're coming from. They shouldn't really call it an IPA, in my opinion. It should be more like a pale ale. But it is an 84 score on Beer Advocate, which is good. It's good for a good. 84 is good for a good on BA. So without further ado, let's take a look at this little beer that I've seen a bunch of today, but you all might just be seeing for the first time, and I'm jealous. Because this is a lovely beer. You can see a little gas coming out of there. Definitely a little bit of like a pineapple citrus whiff out of the can, for sure. And now, for the pour. Ooh, yeah. The last two that I've done had like a 7-8 finger head. So we'll see if this one stacks up. Not as much. This one is not as much on the head. This is more like a 4-5 finger head. The last one I did had like a 7-8 finger head, and the one before that was approximately the same, but this one a little bit more muted. But you can see that for an IPA, this has a big, rocky, lacy, sticky, foamy head, which to me is delightful. I actually enjoy this. But I can see how for an IPA person, like I'm a Pilsner person, and if you called this a Pilsner, it's probably about as close to that as it is to a genuine IPA. So it's weird. It's a weird beer, but I enjoy it because I think that the flavor profile is really interesting and wacky. And you know that we love wacky in Randy's Beer Garden. Yeah, it's definitely the kind of beer also that you could just hang out and crush in the backyard or whatever, at a festival, the beach. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, that pineapple is right up front, hits you over the head with that juicy, wonderful, sweet stickiness, that resiny stickiness. It's quite nice. And there's a little bit of a breadiness on the mid palate, almost like a toasted bagel kind of a flavor. Really enjoy that as well. I would say that, yeah, I mean, calling it an IPA, perhaps a bit of a misnomer, but quite honestly, I would say that for a gateway IPA, you probably would not find a better beer to introduce people who are only into, say, like, lagers and pilsners and the more typical American beer styles. This is a great gateway IPA. I know that that's sort of a thing that's not really as popular now as it was maybe 5-10 years ago, but it's definitely, it has its place. I enjoy a gateway IPA, so to speak. And this is one of my favorites. I got it at Wise Markets for $11 for a 15-pack, so I would strongly suggest, if you all are in the northeastern or central Pennsylvania region, definitely check around to see if your local Wise Markets is carrying this, because If it's discontinued at that price, it is as close to a steal as you're going to get in beer. You can see now that the head has receded quite a bit. Now it's maybe a 2-3 finger head. But it's still very rocky, very foamy. Looks nice. Looks nice in the glass. It really does. It looks like what you want to see if you're at a pub or a bar. So yeah, I can't stop crushing it. I can't stop crushing it. Can't stop crushing it. But yeah, that was silly. This, I would honestly say, is a wonderful gateway IPA. If your friends are into that kind of thing, I would suggest checking out a 15-pack together on a nice sunny afternoon. And happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. And I bid you Auf Wiedersehen!